Hey, what's good, GridIron gang? We back at it again with another podcast. Podcast number 8. We're also in week 9 that we got up, y'all. So it's week 9.
Week 8.
Week 8. That's what's up. Well, like always, my co-host say what's good, Tano.
What's up?
Back like always, we got Swan. Say what's up, Swan.
What's up, thugs? I'm here.
And our co-host this week, we got 3 good ones this week, man. We got that boy Rico. Say what's good, Rico.
Hey, what's up?
We also got Kid in the building. Kid is also back in the league. Jumped on the pod with us. Say what's good,
the GOAT.
Kid.
The GOAT. I don't know why other people keep calling themselves that, but the GOAT.
And back with us again, our boy AI. What's good, AI?
Yes, sir.
We're not going to keep y'all up, man. We're going to get right into it. It's been a minute since we actually been on the pod. Sorry about that. We got everything back up and going now. People, getting back to work, so it's a little stressful. A couple things going on. But getting right into it, we're going to start with the division outlooks and breakdown. Tano, what you got on the NFC West, man?
I mean, it's pretty. This is a division that I wouldn't think it was going to pan out the way that it was, but I kind of said Rico coming back was going to make Ty shy away a little bit. He can say whatever he wants to say, but the matter of the fact is Rico been in it, 2 seasons in the division, and all of a sudden Seahawks doesn't feel like playing anymore? Come on, man. So in my opinion, I think Rico coming in, it made Ty get a little bit worried about it. So, I mean, he's 1-6 right now. He's the bottom feeder. It's really going to hurt his legacy, in my opinion, as far as this year. You're defined as good as your last game. You can't be 1-6, finish the season out like this, and hope for I just don't know. But anywho, I have Rico winning the division. There's no way the Rams is even going to be able to play once they get to play each other. Rico's going to probably beat them both games if he hasn't already. The Cardinals, he's probably still asleep somewhere. So, in my opinion, Rico's going to run away with it. The Rams are sitting good right now at 5-2, but I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And Ty's making one of his various excuses. So, I don't know. Rico, what do you got to say? I mean, this is your division as we're looking at it right now. How do you feel coming in?
I mean, I always felt like I had better offense than Ty. He just had a bunch of X-Factor niggas out there running around. Now that his team has come back down to earth a little bit, I don't think he can fuck with me for the rest of the time we play Madden this season.
Yeah, all of a sudden he turned into be his team. Prior to you joining that division, he had no problem with his team. Kid, I know you and Ty have always had some discrepancies. I'm pretty certain you have a little bit to say about this, that you came in. I mean, we'll get to your division a little later, but you came in, Rico came back, and Ty is no longer the man that supposedly was running the league, even though he only won 2 Super Bowls. So it's not like he was really running away with it. So, Kid, what do you got to say, man? I mean, I know you guys don't fuck with each other like that when it comes to Madden. So,
I mean, Ty is pretty predictable. So, yeah, he's going to use excuses, but he's pretty predictable. So, Ty's going to give himself a good 2 to 3 year window. So, the first 2 years, he's going to be average, and he's going to give himself a 2 to 3 year window. So, whatever he does in those 2 to 3 year window, he's satisfied. So Chris coming back just ended the window. That's all, because he doesn't want to try.
Ended the window.
So if he happens to win, then he wins. But he's not going to force it.
So what you telling me is Rico shut that bitch up real quick, huh? He just said.
I think once Rico.
You know what? It's so funny because Ty reminds me a lot of Hogan, the Jaguars, but Ty actually wins. Hogan loses and bitches and moans every other time, but Ty sometimes wins. So it's kind of interesting to look at it that way.
But I got one person interested in that division game in the NFC West. Chris Spencer with the Rams is always up there like at the top or like scratch off into the playoffs. But then like playoff come, he kind of like he just loses. So I don't really take him seriously in that division, especially with Rico and Ty.
You've been gone too long. Spence ain't made the playoffs not one fucking time.
Listen, I want to recap something. I want to recap something because by your statement, it probably seems like you haven't listened to the past 8 podcasts that we have done. But the man Rams, right? He sat in here and he was like, "Oh, I need to look for a new quarterback. My organization needs a new quarterback." This man traded for the #1 overall pick and took the best second D tackle in the draft with the #1 overall pick, kept golf, and was bitching for like 2 seasons that he couldn't do anything, that everyone else's teams were stacked. When we come down and look at it, the Rams were just in the Super Bowl. This Madden, we're just in the Super Bowl, so they were one of the best teams that he took. So I just don't understand it. But if you were to look back and listen back, you can see how I get on him a little bit about that because he keeps whining. But I mean, Mister, I took a D tackle with the #1 overall pick, and you needed a quarterback. I don't get that.
I don't get why he always says people's team is stacked. Like you had about what's this year 6, 7?
Yeah, he's been in it since the beginning.
7 years to build your team. Why is golf still a superstar? I don't know.
All right, man. Moving on to the NFC East. Take out what you got.
Oh man. The Cowboys are no longer the Cowboys. I mean, we haven't highlighted because we haven't had the chance to. But I fucked Sergio up in that Super Bowl. He might not want to talk about that. But we haven't had a podcast since I beat him in the Super Bowl. So let me just highlight this one statement in this one podcast. Sergio hasn't been the same. I mean, he's 3-4. He's getting beat. I mean, Swan.
Congratulations on your win as well, man. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your win.
Yeah, you beat me in the season, sucker. That's the one that mattered to you. But going back to this, Swan whooped him twice. Like, it was just complete dominance. It wasn't just, Swan might have just got unlucky. No, he beat him twice. I mean, if you look at the division, also, Swan is giving up the least points in the division. He's also outscoring the Cowboys by a large margin of 63 points. So it's not like, he's just, letting it happen. I mean, Swan is he took over the division, and I don't know what Sergio got to say. I mean, I don't know. He keeps blaming it on videos he keeps posting. I don't know. Maybe the whole commissioner role got a little bit to him. I don't know.
I can tell you what happened if you really want to know. Is what I've been
Please
saying
let me
since
know.
day one.
Please.
That motherfucker can't play without the loaded Cowboys. His team has deteriorated. He's no good. I played him in Elite the same day, beat this motherfucker 40-10. I was like, man, he can't play without the Cowboys. This dude sucks. So
Mr. Meme King got Mr. Meme King, Queen at this point. Mr. Meme Queen got to go back to doing that or something. Cause you're right. I mean, you're not the only person that has told me that he's not the same without a loaded team. I mean, Hogan has called him out in the chat. A couple people have called him out in the chat that he's not the same when he doesn't have an X Factor team. So, I mean, you might be right. It's finally catching up to him in time.
Is Top Cat playing this year?
man, Top Cat can't survive without Saquon, and I took Saquon out, and he ain't won a game since.
Yeah, you like that?
I'm
Rico
gonna win that
over there,
division.
huh?
Unless you have
if Sergio was playing on PC, I think we all be doomed though.
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
If Sergio was playing on PC, we might all be in trouble.
he might be asking for your damn game card and all that shit. Oh, I'm lagging. Tab space bar.
All right,
I see the
so
Redskins winning.
who do y'all think? Yeah, I just wanted to hear it. I want to hear who
I see the Redskins winning that one. I see the
Swan
Redskins
just want to
winning
hear
that
his
one.
day. Swan just want to hear his day. Yeah, the Redskins definitely
I
got that
mean,
division.
it looked like a clear runaway, unless Swan just had a total meltdown. I mean, it looks like a runaway.
Moving on, we got the NFC North. What you got over there, Thanos?
The NFC North, I mean, Karl Malone back at it again. I mean, the man is doing what he's doing. Karl Malone at 7-1, even though he just lost to the Buccaneers. Right now, you have the division. The Saints at 7-1, the Buccaneers at 5-2, and then the other two just never show up. I mean, I just thought that Cali coming into that division was going to be something, but Cali has not been the same since Madden 2007. Michael Vick in the damn logo or whatever. I mean, the man he's just no longer the same. I don't know what his excuse may be, but he is.
You said NFC North though, right?
Yeah, I guess he wants to run the NFC
Yeah, he went to the South.
Yeah,
he went to the okay.
That Panthers team is really bad though, so I didn't know he could do it. I doubted it. I mean, it was really hard to see what he could do with that team.
But I mean, I understand that, but if you have the number one pick, you're in a position to rebuild. Buffalo. Yeah, that. But I mean, Mr. Hop-a-lot, I don't know. He hasn't been successful at any juncture of his career as a head coach. I mean, he should be fired.
Why are we allowing this? Like, why are we allowing him to jump from team to team as he's so pleasing?
Well, right now we haven't had teams at those times, and he came back. So I didn't see any problem with it because it wasn't like the teams were super stacked that he wasn't going to do much. I mean, the teams that he was taking over, they've been vacant for a season or two. So it's not like he was joining to his old Colts team. Hence, kid. But
hey, what happened to my boy? That y'all kicked him out and let kid back in?
Panthers?
Yeah, I heard a rumor about that.
No, we didn't kick him out. He just his brother stated that his PS4 or something wasn't working. Like I kept messaging.
The one who came in for Colts.
Oh, I mean, I was going to address that if you wanted to when we got there, but we didn't kick him out. He asked to be kicked out because he was done with this Madden. That's what he said to me.
I just noticed like kid was in. I'm like, damn, what happened to my boy Booty?
I mean, he was booty evidently.
Kid, I know you got something to say about this division. What you got to say about Karl Malone and the NFC South?
I mean, it's Yakos every year unless the Bucks somehow, get over that hump, which I thought he would eventually one day, being Penton's roommate and looking at Penton play, but I guess he better have his own styles, but it's Yakos division. It's nothing to debate about. I mean, it's Yakos.
Yeah. I mean, the Bucks have gotten better from the beginning of this Madden to now, but Yako has been winning that division, but he does nothing in the playoffs. So that's why he's crowned the Karl Malone of the league because, I mean, he can win it all, but the big game. So.
Who, Yako?
Yep.
Karl Malone?
Karl Malone, the mailman, man. He'll be the MVP. He'll do the stats. He'll have the potent offense all throughout the regular season. He'll be Sergio, Ty, Ion, everybody you put in front of him in the regular season. Come the playoffs, he can't even score more than 21 points.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that in the other categories.
Well, I guess I'll go to the NFC North. Los. NFC North. I mean,
Can I go first on this one? Because this is trash.
First
of all,
I mean, let's not forget that you fled the division. By the way,
fled. I was on top of the division when I left. Let me get that in sync.
No, you were on your downfall. Let's not forget.
I still won the division though.
If you were to look at the podcast, which we did when you left, you were already on your downfall. But go ahead.
I left it. I won the NFC North. But I don't know what this Vikings guy is doing. I think he's just total trash. But hey, he seems like a cool person. He says he want to do his way, just like playing Madden. I think Bears is going to win. Lions going to win the division because those Lions and Packers, if those the same people that I was here with, they're not competitive enough to compete with Iron. They're not disciplined enough to stay with Iron. So Iron, unless he could keep getting some losses, he's going to win that division easily.
Which we could elaborate about that. We asked Ion multiple times in the chat, and he just never has proof. There's a juicy picture that we can show that he actually should have got a forced L against the Lions. Lions just doesn't happen to be in the chat a lot to let us know. But there's a juicy picture that could have shown that he should have got the forced L as it is. We're just keeping that in the back burner just in case it keeps going crazy.
We know Iron play games on trying to get forced wins.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nothing new.
He's just trying to keep Cohen healthy. That's all he does. He knows when he plays, he get hurt. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, kid. I think the Bears are going to probably win the division right now. They have the most points scored division. They're not. I mean, they're not giving up the least amount of points. But as you said, I don't see. Even though that the Packers have made huge leaps since you left, but I still don't think that if they were to play each other and it's a deciding game, I don't think the Packers are going to win. And even so, with taking those losses, they are 4-3 and the Packers are 4-4. So if Ion wins this week, or if he's in a bye week and comes out winning out of the bye week, he still is going to be number one in the division. So I do agree with you that he's going to probably go on and win the division. Since you left, that's been a division pretty much held by Ion, except the Packers had a one wonder year, and then outside of that, I mean, it's been Ion pretty much since then.
So, Tano, what you got on the AFC West, man?
All right, the AFC West, I will call it the one season wonder or 1.5 season wonder division. That division has changed winners other than the Raiders every other year. The Chargers won it last year. The Raiders won it and beat me in the playoffs. Now the Broncos.
Man, this motherfucker, he tough. Damn.
Yeah. The Broncos seem to be running away with it a little. Not running away with it, but seems to be giving everyone a tough battle. I predict that because the Broncos is someone that is tough and most people do not know how he play, he's going to win this season, even though the Raiders, in my opinion, is the best opponent, and I may rank the Raiders above the Broncos as a user, but just because no one knows his play style,
I cannot stop this dude. God,
but I think
confirming it. Man, but I mean, I'm up, but God, he got some stuff I ain't seen.
Well, there you go. I mean, they're playing right now as we speak. So, yeah, I mean, I see him winning. We'll see him winning the division just because he'll beat his opponents within the division. But outside of that, I mean, he'll probably make the playoffs, and then it'll be a different ball game. But the Raiders, I mean, they're really close. I think the Raiders is a really tough opponent. Obviously, he's beating me sometimes. I've beaten him sometimes. But if I were to say, yeah, the Broncos are probably going to win it, with the Raiders being a close second. If they don't win, Jeremy just had his year last year. That was his year to shine. Everybody else was asleep. He didn't take advantage of it. He goes back to being the Jeremy that doesn't like this Madden. So.
Yeah, I brought Broncos in a recruitment chat, and I was like, "You want to join GridIron?" He was like, "All right." And I don't know how he played, but I just met him. He seemed loyal.
No, he's solid. I mean, he's solid. I'm up 28-17, but he's solid.
I ain't never played him, but I brought him in.
So I played Broncos. I think the first year he got added in, and he run the ball really well. I think Raiders might win the division though, because his team just isn't built probably the way he wants it to be built at this point. Broncos. So at some point, the team is gonna take over for him, and I don't think he'll be able to combat that. But, Tanner, you said that this division has been flip flopping ever since I left. If I was still there, I think we would know who'd be winning that every time.
Yeah, but you and your Kavana boy kid left, so I mean that's on you guys. But you're right. If you would have stayed, you probably would have won the division every year and every year after that. Even though the Raiders, I think the Raiders will give you a tough run because
Oh no, I think once the last time I played him, he scored 1 touchdown and I had like 40 points. So
yeah.
you might think he would give me a hard time, but
yeah, I mean your Chiefs team. I mean that team is built quite well as far as speed and everything that you need to go ahead and win every other year. So surprised you didn't win a Super Bowl, but
Mahomes got hurt because of some stupid shit. But we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh,
Mahomes got hurt one
Super
year.
Bowl with the Chiefs?
no,
Doug, I got
didn't.
there was a year that I was a game away, and then New England started complaining about rolling position. So I took that out. And then the next season, Mahomes got hurt against Kano.
He faced the GOAT.
Imagine I was beating him 21-0, and then Mahomes.
It wasn't 21-0. I was like 21-10.
But you had 7. Yeah. You had 7. You had 7. So 21-7. You couldn't stop me.
Then what happened?
Mahomes got hurt, of course. Mahomes got hurt.
But then what happened? What ultimately happened?
Mahomes got hurt.
What ultimately happened?
Moving on to the AFC East. Penn seems to be dominating that division. What you got over that there now?
I mean, there's not much to talk about. Bills, Patriots, Jets. Jets said his team missed free agency or whatever. He can't play with that team, so I guess that's one of the people that now we know that can't play with a underwhelming team such as Ty. Patriots, supposedly his job, this and that. And then we got the Bills, which is Gringo coming back, which I think if we play one more season, we may be looking at that's the toughest division, kid you not, if we play one season all with some of the pieces that they like. Because, I mean, Penn ain't no joke. Gringo ain't no joke. Probably top 5 in the league with a workable team. Patriots can hold his own. And in my opinion, the Jets coming in, he did nothing but to prove himself. Even though he didn't win, but he proved himself such as to be a good competitor. So if we were to probably fast forward to a year and they're all playing, they're all active, that's going to be a fun division to watch. Just right now, they're probably in la-la land and trying to rebuild and get some pieces so they can kind of position themselves for next year in order to be able to compete. But that would be a good division to look at next year.
I don't think so. Let's say we get one more year. I don't think the Jets going to be ready next year. I think he's going to come up with another excuse. The Patriots, I think he's on a downward spiral. I think people figure him out somewhat, but he may conject. Gringo and Penton is going to come down to those two, and I think Penton is going to win it this year and next year easy. Well, Penton's team is stacked. Gringo has one thing as far as his defense, whereas he relies a lot off edge pressure and quarterbacks coming off the edge, and Penton has a lot of offensive plays where he just will burn that up. And I don't think Gringo will stop him too much. And if you show Gringo a certain look, he will bite on it. And I think Penton will debate him all the time, especially with playing Penton, both of them this year. Penton team by far is like, I don't understand 2 seasons, how y'all let Penton stack the Dolphins up like that. Like,
he was tanking a lot too. He wasn't even playing.
Yeah, he made the right moves.
He got 2 legit shutdown X Factors corners, where if you beat them off the line, they're making up those yards as soon as you throw that ball in the air. Then you got the running back. He always had offensive plays. So Penn is going to win it this year. I think Gringo, once it starts next season, he's going to try to be competitive, but I think he's just going to fall back once Penton beats him twice or once he's running away from the division. Like right now.
But Penton gave away a lot of good players to build his team up. He had an overall 95 wide receiver with 97 speed. He gave away.
Mm-hmm.
He gave away an X factor.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna really.
To get,
so don't get it confused. Penton and Gringo is two different. Gringo will rely on that 97 for his offense and use it. Penton and Gringo can't draft. He cannot draft outside the top 10. Anything outside the top 10, Gringo reaching. Penton will take those, get picks, get young players, and will focus legitly on those young players for a year or two and draft greatly. So it's going to be Penton this year, next year with that team. By injuries, it's going to be Penton.
AFC North, your division. What's up, Tano?
I mean, that's all you gotta say.
Oh my God. I mean,
that's all you gotta
down
say.
himself as well.
I mean, he did, but he's been an afterthought since season 2. The man has not won since he won a Super Bowl. I mean, I know he sounds pretty, and it looks good every other year that we get to this point, and it kind of seems the same story every other year. We get to this point, and we're like, oh, well, somebody might catch up. Somebody might do this. And then at the end of the year, I'm either in the playoffs or winning the Super Bowl. And AI has been doing the same thing since year 1. But if we want to break it down statistically for the Chiefs, New England, and all those guys that complained that we did it just like that, oh, well, you analyzed it by who you play. Let's go by the statistics. So Steelers, CPU, not doing anything. The Bengals, Kyle is one of the most underrated users, I think. I think if he were to be in a division such as the Saints division, maybe a division like the AFC South, maybe AFC West, definitely. But if he were to be in a different division that didn't have AI and myself, and not the Bengals to start over, he has built them quite well, but he has never found that one quarterback that he can go hit. I mean, he had Wentz. He had this guy this year that has like 81 throw power. He had Dalton. I mean, he hasn't really – Allen, I think, for 1 year. But he hasn't really established the quarterback position. So if he were to have a team in a division that will allow him to do that, we will be talking about him differently. We will be talking about him as a top 10 to maybe top 15 player every single season, a player that will always compete. Why I say this is because we play close every year. We always split games. Either we play real close, he beats me, or whatever it is. But he's a very good opponent. But that 3-3 record doesn't quite say who he is. If he were, as I mentioned, if he were to be in a different division, it would help him a lot more. But he happens to be in a division with AI that has won a Super Bowl and then myself that won twice. Browns right now has given up the second least points in the division at 112. Adding to my last statements about Kyle has given up the least points in the division at 105. So he's just not scoring very well, and that's probably attributed because of the quarterback not being able to do as well. But the Browns not only is allowing the second least amount of points, he's putting up the second most amount of points. So he's doing fairly well when it comes to being able to score and hold his opponents. I mean, AI, everybody knows, he'll throw the house at you. Quite questionable, some of his play calling. But and then you have myself at 7-0, which, I mean, I took a forced W, went into bye, and then when I come out of the bye, I'm gonna be sitting at 8-0 next time that we do this. I'll be coming out at 8-0. But then after that, I play the Browns twice, which is really gonna set ourselves apart of who's gonna win the division. But I see both of us making the playoffs and hopefully making a deep run outside of Penton. So I mean, Who will win the division? Obviously me, because AI is a bomb. But other than that, and that's about it. Kid, I'm pretty certain you may have a thing or two about my personal division. So go for it.
I'm rooting for AI.
Let's
I
go.
bet you are.
Guy.
I bet
Always
you
rooting
are.
for
Guy
AI.
right there.
There's a
That's
legacy
my-
there. There's a
Always
legacy
rooting for
factor
AI.
in here.
Even if he has 2% chance, I'm gonna say AI.
Yes,
all we
sir.
need-
You already
All
know.
we need
Whoa.
is freak accident like Hollywood get injured,
That's it.
okay, Lamar get injured.
That's
Boom.
it.
That's the division right there.
That's it.
So I'm gonna go with AI. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm
Yes.
gonna go with AI.
Hey, come on. This man gonna be rich one day, man.
I will ask you a question, kid. Does your legacy and myself have anything to do with your current cheerleader pom-pom that you put on?
Come
Nah,
on.
my legacy.
Because
my legacy.
you know if I win, I have more titles than you. So I know
mean-
that has to do something with this.
I mean, that's
But we can
true.
put that we can put that in the coach's corner, so that way it doesn't
Yeah, that
seem
can go
like
to the.
yeah.
Yeah,
We'll move on, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. AFC South, huh? Los?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kid you not, I know I talk about the AFC East as being as a really good division, but as you once stated, Los, you probably have the most competitive division when it comes to records, how you guys always finish. I don't know how you guys let Hogan, the guy that gets the girl stolen every time, win as much as he does.
Well, he ain't win a day.
But I think that has to be attributed to his team. I think Hogan does a really good job building that secondary. That's one thing that I do give him, even though he might not have the best user skills. He does a really good job in developing his secondary and his D line, which in turn applies pressure, and in turn his team is able to overcome the mistakes he does in the play calling side. So I mean, Ramsey being built up overcomes a lot of stuff. His D line and Godway or whatever his name is, and then Josh Allen. Those two, I mean, I just recently played him, even though I beat the brakes off of him. But he did have like 4 sacks, and I wasn't even scrambling like that with Lamar. But it's just they put such much pressure on you, that if you face a user that isn't used to that or isn't able to adjust to it, he's going to probably win. And that's probably why he always does well in that division. I mean, he's got Shoddy, he's got Now You Kid, and he's got Los, which that's why I'm surprised, because Los did have that one slogan, "It's time" season. Everybody went behind the Green Reaper. He didn't do shit. But I really would like, because right after that, Los, I don't know if you remember, I had you winning, and I'm still kind of bitter because that was one of your worst seasons after your It's Time season. So I just wanted to see you overcome that division. I mean, Kid is coming back, and he's allegedly saying that the team is not quite to his scheme, even though Cali did a really good job building that team. But I don't know. It's a toss-up. If I were to say, man, I think either Kid or Lowe's, but Lowe's has a tough time beating the Jaguars. So Kid or Lowe's, but Hogan could always win just because he's another regular season champ that does nothing in the playoffs. So, I mean, I really don't have – if I was a betting man because of history, I would say the Colts or the Texans, but the Jaguars could run away with it. So I don't know. I don't know who to say is going to win. I think that's one that if I were to say who's going to win, I really don't know.
Yeah, anyway, I got this.
Maybe
year.
the Texans, because you're giving up the least points, but you're really not scoring much. But the Jaguars, even though he does a good job building, he's giving up the most points, but he's also putting up the most points. So it's kind of hard to say. I mean, that's kind of hard to say. And I don't know if Kid is really playing or not. we'll find out.
I'm
like
gonna let
2
you talk
games
your
where he
shit
gets
because you got the
beat.
Super Bowl too. So I'm gonna let you talk your shit.
Nah,
Enjoy
you beat me
yourself.
fair and square. You beat me
Enjoy
fair and square
yourself.
that season. You beat me
Nah, you
fair and
got the
square.
Super Bowl. You got the Super Bowl. That's all that
That's what
matters.
matters.
So as I look at the schedule, remaining schedules, I'm gonna either win the division by a game or lose it by a game. And I say that because I think the Colts and Jags are gonna balance out. And it's all about me remembering how everybody plays. The first game, the Jags caught me off guard. I forgot about DJ Chalk and a whole bunch of other Jack and all that.
I mean, if you start the vertical and you go away from Ramsey, you got him beat. I mean, that's all I did, and I mean, I whoop his ass. He was bad. Like he was even saying I chewed clock again. He was trying to pull that off again.
So now he has tails.
No contest.
He has tails, but especially on defense, I don't want to give it up because I need him and Los to go back and forth. So I need them to like balance out. Shotty to beat them a couple times. He still got to play Penton. I think Los got to play Gringo. So we'll see how about that though. It's gonna be difficult because I think Los plays Gringo at the end of the year. So I think Gringo's gonna ask for a loss. So I think Los is gonna get that. I think by that time Gringo will be looking for some free wins. So like I said, I'm either gonna win it by you. It depends on my next 3 games right now. But I want a bye week, so it depends. The next 3 weeks I definitely know the answer. But I'm gonna say me by a game.
Okay. Appreciate that that perspective on the division and how you think you're gonna come out maybe what you said ahead a game. You said you think you may have it by a game or 2.
Who?
Kid?
Yeah, but hold on. You always try to do this, Lowe's, and don't let off so easy. Don't just. That's your division too. The man just came back. What you gonna be like? I appreciate it. You're gonna win by 1 game. Yeah, I'm gonna let you win by 1 game. I want. Tell me a little bit about
the thing about
your
me.
outlook.
The thing about me is I've done this stuff. I've done this this football shit in real life. And in real life, I didn't talk shit. I just did it on the field. So, when I play, whether it's Madden, I do the same thing. It's just on the field with me. I just kind of do it, versus talk it. That's all. So,
I understand. I guess makes sense.
I'm sorry I don't yap, I'm from Houston, Texas. So it's different. It's different. But anyway, going into Swan Stats, what you got there? What you want me to rumble over to, Swan? What you got?
Okay, so first we can start with the top passing leaders. Dolphins' Josh Rosen is number 1 in yards and touchdowns.
Ooh.
So he's going 2,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, 68% completion. So he's passing this year. Last year he was running. Lamar Jackson, I would have to say, would be the next best thing. 70% completion, 16 touchdowns, 1,700 yards. And then rookie Joe Burrow, 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns with 68%.
Hey, but Taino don't pass with Lamar. I mean, I'm just saying, but go
ahead. Don't pass in the pocket. Don't pass in the pocket.
Man,
that nigga just run.
Ain't none of that shit gonna work when y'all get down to defense leaders, homie.
Giants just beat Cali 21-0.
Man, it's all about matchups, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's about matchups. That's it. Somebody get blown out and come back next week and beat the person who beat them. That shit is weird.
You're right.
Top rushing leaders, Saints Corbett, 15 touchdowns, second in the league in yards with 743. Colts Chubb leads the league with 764, 8 touchdowns, and then Ravens Weber, 730 yards and 8 touchdowns. Those are top 3 rushers. Keep it up, ladies.
I don't even like Chubb. Just imagine if I had Dalvin Cook back.
He'd be hurt. Top wide receivers, John Ross, Saints 908, leads the league in yards. Nicole Hardman.
There go that Karl Malone, man.
For 49ers, got Hardman. Oh, Chiefs got Hardman.
Yeah, Chiefs got
809
Harmon.
yards, 5 touchdowns for Ross. And then rookie Jalen Reagor, 783 yards, 7 touchdowns. Another one of Penton's boys. So Dolphins seem to be tearing it up, undefeated over there in the AFC. That might be the guy to beat.
Can't wait to play him.
Defense,
Ready.
sack leaders
Yeah.
is Dallas, Steve Prohl, 24 sacks, and Bucks.
What, bro?
Randall. Can we continue? The fuck? Tampa Bay's Randall Watt, 17. Those are the top 2 sack leaders. Dallas is Steve Prohl, 24. Tampa Bay's Randall Watt, 17. Interceptions leaders. I gotta know.
Yeah.
Goodman,
Yeah.
20
interceptions
on his
Test
way
your
to
boy.
a historic season.
I
What
guarantee
is he
y'all
doing?
touch that secondary. I guarantee y'all touch that secondary. I
How
want
does
y'all
this
to.
man got 20 interceptions?
They
I
keep
just want to
testing me.
know.
For a
They
I
lot
keep
just want
of
to
testing me.
know.
They
I
keep
just want to
testing.
know, was he a running back before the season? Because
Nah.
you're kind of known to change players.
Come
positions.
on,
was
man.
he a wideout before the
Nah.
season? What was he
Nah.
before the season?
I want y'all to test that
Was he 20?
secondary. That's what I want y'all to do.
20 interceptions in 8 games?
Yeah.
It's
We're gonna have to check if he got him as a linebacker or something. Some sub back.
Oh,
We're gonna
wow.
check it out.
Man. Check me out. All legit,
man,
baby.
it's just AI put so much pressure on niggas. They just panic pass and then
That's
it's a
it.
pick every
Thank
time.
you. I appreciate that, man. That's real. That's what real niggas do, man.
Well, the
It's
top
just all it
rookies, AFC rookies, defense will be Isaiah Simmons, who has 6 interceptions, and then offense, Jalen Reagor for the Dolphins, 783, 7 touchdowns. Top NFC rookies, Joe Burrow, and Rams free safety, Aloha Gilman, 4 interceptions. The NFC rookies suck, but he's the top.
Hey. Stop.
Well, let's get to these to the
defensive
part of the
rookies.
pod that gets everybody, you know.
I'll let the girl. I'll let them
little-
start just in case, Los.
a little out of whack. So you want to go last?
Yeah, I'll go last. I want to see what they have to say this time around.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and knock mine out. You know, with no further ado. You know, just take it how it is. At 10, I got Bears. At 9, I got Rams. At 8, I got the Broncos. At 7, I got the Bucks. At 6, I got the 49ers. At 5, I got the Redskins.
Hey!
At 4, I got Saints.
All right.
At 3, I got the Browns. At 2, I got the Ravens. And then at 1, I got Pittman.
No respect. The man can win a Super Bowl. He can do whatever.
That was a fluke. I mean, he got your boy top 3 though, like your boy Iverson, man. Number 3, favorite number.
I mean, before we started, I did my list. You was only 6-0 at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't put you over, you know, those guys.
No, that's
'cause they
perfect,
had,
bro.
You know,
That's
They
perfect.
had more wins.
That's perfect.
He
Than you, you know what I'm saying?
He
But-
couldn't put you over a Super Bowl, a recent Super Bowl champ. He couldn't.
You
All
right.
right, let me give y'all my power rankings. At number
Go ahead,
10,
knock it out.
I got Raiders. That division, very skeptical. I know he's winning it at the time, so that's what I'm gonna give it to. Raiders. Rams at 9. I got Jags at 8. 49ers at 7. Bucks at 6. Redskins at 5. Number 1 team right now in sacks. I had to put that out there. At 4, I got the Browns. Number 1 team in interceptions. 33. 20 of them go to one guy.
Yes,
Still kind
sir.
of crazy. Saints at 3. Ravens at 2. Dolphins at 1.
That's not bad.
Man to beat.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay, would you Would you like to go AI with yours?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna go with mine, man. Mine pretty simple, man. I got at 10, I got the Rams. At 9, I got the Broncos. I should have boosted him up. This was before I played him, mind you. This was before I played him. I should have bumped him up because he's solid, man. I just hit a couple plays that pretty much just the game was over. You know what I mean? But I got him at 9.
You hit him. You stretch him out or two, huh?
Come on, man. You already know. I got San Francisco at number 8. I got the Redskins at 7. I got Tampa Bay at 6. I got Jacksonville. I don't know. It's that 5-2 record. It seems like he lost more than I don't know if he's stressed out or what's going on with who. But I don't know. He bugging, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my guy though.
He's 5-3 now, man. 5-3 now.
See, that's what I'm saying. I did this list before all of this came out. I had him number 5 because I thought he.
So do you want to take some time and put the Redskins above him? Because we'll give you some time. Somebody else can go.
All right. So look. So look. No, so look. This is what I'm gonna do, man. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch the Redskins and the Jags. So I got the Jags at 7, the Bucks at 6, and I got the Redskins at 5.
Three guys got Redskins at 5.
I got New Orleans at 4. I got Ravens at 2. I got Ravens at 3. I got me at 2. And then I got Dolphins number 1 just because I see what he's doing over there. That's how I got my list.
So everybody's pretty similar.
Yeah, it is. I mean, low-key it is between the 1 through 4.
Kid, Reek.
Hey, show your boy some love, man. Show your boy some love, man.
So I can't do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put me at 10, just to throw myself in there. Then I'm gonna go Rams 9.
You so far down, I can't. Okay, Rams.
9. I'm gonna go Bucks 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Redskins 7. I'm gonna go Jags 7, Redskins 6.
Okay, all right, I can do that.
I'm gonna go 49ers 5.
Ooh, here come that top 5.
Saints 4.
Ooh, okay.
4. I'm gonna go Ravens 3.
Oh yeah, let's go. Your boy's up there.
Browns 2.
Yes, sir.
And Dolphins 1.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Blessings, baby. You already know.
I mean, I got to because Ravens still doing him, but hey, 20 interceptions.
You see your boy. You see your boy. You see what we looking like out there, man. I want to hear Tano list.
Rico. Where's Rico at?
All right. It's my go. All right. So number 1. Yeah, it's me, bro. Number 1, I got the Dolphins.
Oh, he's starting number 1. Right
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead. Drop it. Yeah, number 1, Dolphins.
Number 2, I got Browns.
Let's go. Hey, I'm not playing with y'all, man.
Tano, I had to put him above you because he was 1 game behind you in wins, but after he finished his game, he jumped up in points scored like by 50 over you. So I put him over you. Number 3, I got
okay.
Number 3, I got the Ravens. Number 4, I got the Saints. Number 5, I have myself, the 49ers. Number 6, I'm gonna put the Redskins right there. Number 7, I'm gonna put Buccaneers.
Oh wow.
Is he sending everybody the same video? Oh my god.
Number 8, I'm gonna put Jaguars. And then I don't got a 9 and 10, honestly. Just put anybody. That shit is all mixed up. 9, I'll put Broncos. 10, I'll put Texans. How about that?
Okay. So you're saying Texas is just even a throwaway? Like, don't even put them there. You're just doing it just cause. Okay,
I think that division is so close right now. You can't really. You gotta just kind of mix them up, mix and match all of them. But I'll give Texans the edge over Kid right now. 'Cause Kid said his team ain't built the way he like it. So.
Hey, man.
Mr. Super Bowl champ, can you please
So
drop your
I always do some teams in the bubble. So I got the Cowboys, the Bengals, and the Colts in the bubble because they're three really good users, and the Bears. They're three really good users that, because of forced losses or whatever the circumstances may be, are not in the top 10. I don't know how good the Broncos are. I guess I believe AI a little bit, but I haven't played them, so I got them coming in at 10 because I don't think, like I said earlier, it might be a toss-up. They might not win. I think the Raiders will win when it comes down to it, but I got them at 10. The Redskins, I got him at 9 because he still hasn't shown. He hasn't shown me anything. He just doesn't.
I showed you number 1 in sacks right now. Okay,
That's good. Put a sack of potatoes and take it to go because you still ain't done shit. You gotta win the division. Maybe by that week 16, week 17 podcast, if you like going away with the division or something like that, maybe you'll creep up. But I'm more of a what have you done throughout
I gotta see
history.
the 8 teams above me.
Okay, all right. At number 8, I got the Texans.
Wow.
At number 7, I got the Raiders. Because again, I think he's gonna win the division. At number 6, I got the Bucks. Number 5, I got the Jaguars. At number 4, I have the Browns. At number 3, I have Rico bum ass with the 49ers, but just because I know that he's going to do well once he builds Burrow. Like if this was year 1 or 2 in Madden and he's building Burrow, this will be a different story because he will have it by now. He will have it pretty much set. At number 2, I have the Dolphins, and then at number 1, I have.
Can you
Ravens.
please, sir? I mean, I can't post that on
Don't have the rights. Don't have the rights to that.
For all type of reasons. You can't post that if you don't mind. All right, appreciate those power rankings, everybody. We're gonna move on to Coach's Corner. Just showing the appreciation, of course, for Kid, Rico, and AI showing up for us to do the pod. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. In all seriousness, for everybody that's in the pod right now, this is the Coach's Corner. It's open.
Can I say one thing? Next Madden, can we export the draft in that first year and just say fuck it with whoever downloads one and get the rookies in sooner than later?
Well, depending on well, I mean, I can't speak on what they're gonna do with their league, but depending on how things are progressing, I mean, we may have an NCAA drop soon anyway, so it may.
I will say
we're never gonna have an NCAA. It's gonna be like a little arcadish Simmons for the games, but they're never gonna say their names in the NCAA because they're not paying those players.
But some lame across the country is gonna create that draft class. So
yeah, I mean, I just hate how certain people create like everybody first round shouldn't be superstars.
Well, I mean, I just throwing it out there. If we get it done early, then those superstars will fade by the time we finish.
So yeah, I got something for Coach's Corner. Me personally, I've been advocating for this a long time. And I think, fellow podcasters in here today will actually vouch for it because they have used it. I know it's some bad apples in the bunch, but I think y'all shouldn't penalize us for that. And I think we need to have a real conversation about name change.
I'm down. I love name change.
Like, don't get me out. Look at the pros of name change. when Swan drafted that free safety and
21
changed it with
Savage?
Savage, exactly. How hard did he go for 21 Savage on the field?
Extremely.
When you
Defensive
change
Rookie
the
of
name,
year, everything.
now, could you say, okay, one per year or something like that? I'm cool with that. But when you get somebody who changed their names, they're going to play way more competitive with that person. You're not going to change their name, just have them be a bum, unless you iron.
Oh no, I get kind of petty. So if I got a sorry player, I'm gonna change his name like Taino or something.
Hell yeah. It could be a
I
whole
tried
bunch
to
of
push
rules
that
and
through. It
regulations.
didn't get approved.
It could be a whole regulator. There's ways you can regulate it for whatever. Like I said, you could do one per draft.
I will
One
say this. I will snitch this one time. I got permitted a name change by who let me do that name change? Yako. So I had changed the dude's name coming into the league. He was like, bro, you can't change the name. He was like, change it back. I was like, I don't remember what the dude's name was. He was like, well, all right, just make up a name. I sent him some shit like Jonathan Francis, one of these dudes I used to ball with, my boy back in the day. He approved it.
Well, Yako's real. I ask Yako to change my players to black people all the time. He do it. It ain't a name, but I'm like, can you make my guy black? He look out. So little stuff.
Like, okay.
So it's just Tano blocking the name change. I think it's because he knows everybody would name their worst player Tano.
Which I'm actually upset at Yako. There's two people I'm disappointed most in GridIron League. It's Yako and Iron. Iron has every skill set imaginable to win the Super Bowl. But he gets stuck in his ways. He gets stuck on several plays and he panics. So which is why I would just wait to play him because he has tremendous telltale signs. And the reason why I'm mad at Yako because he could beat everyone that was in the NFC except Iron. And it's because he puts it in his mind already, like, I don't want to play Iron. Because I know he's about to be overkill.
I tell him all the time.
Like,
to be completely honest, in my opinion, Yako will be literally top 5 player if he gets a weight of his own head. And that's kind of hard because I know him personally and I know how Yako is.
Yako could be a top 2 player if he do sneaky stuff like Tano. That's fact.
Yeah. I mean,
but he just doesn't. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm just saying it for the fun, whatever, blah blah.
Maybe. Maybe.
I know Ion personally, and he can play, but in his head, he's got to find a cheap way to beat you. If he would just straight up play, he would be a lot better. But he's always looking for that spam attack.
The thing about Iron is what kids or Spencer was just saying that that's how he is, man. Like he had the whole. I mean, I played him in the Super Bowl, and that's why I beat him. So it was Iron and Sergio. So I played Iron in the Super Bowl. My whole attack was stop the run. What did I do? I load up the Bucks. I blitzed every other play. And I did all that I could to stop the play. Going into the ending of the third to the fourth quarter, he realized, like, oh, I can't run. Let me start passing. And I was still stuck on he's going to be running, and he finally got some point. But the thing is, if he would have became more balanced throughout the game, he would have done very well. He would have been a really good Super Bowl. But like Kid says, he just stuck to, like, oh, I just want to be a beast with Cole. I just want to be. I mean, outside of it's all fun and games, but outside of that, like yes, I do use Lamar to his best skills. But if you guys see it outside of 2 seasons, I don't win MVP with Lamar. I don't win MVP with my running back. I just literally, whichever game it is, like if I'm running and I'm doing well, that's what I'm doing. If you're letting me scramble with my quarterback, that's what I'm going to do. If you're letting me run, that's what I'm going to do. Like, I mean, that's what it is. I just play with what you guys are giving me. Some people are just like, oh, I have this B-stats wide receiver. Let me just overdo it. Or I have this great player. Let me just overdo it. Yeah, you guys see it as I'm overusing Lamar. But when you look at it, I haven't even used Lamar how you guys see it. You might look at it how you want to, but I don't. Against Rico, yeah, this motherfucker is a top 10 player. Do I want to beat him? Yeah. So obviously, if he's letting me fucking rush with Lamar, that's what I'm going to do. But any other player that's just average or just all right, I'm just going to do whatever. Like, if running is working, I'll run. If throwing is working, I'll run. Like, I don't have to win the best wide receiver every year. That's why my team, if you look at it all throughout, it's not, like, overpowering. Like, my team is always like, because I don't overuse certain players. Yeah, I overuse Lamar, but fuck, he's 95 speed. Why not? But if you spy him and stuff like that, then I'll try to do other stuff. So.
I just want to say that's what makes me the GOAT. I don't win with mobile quarterbacks. Running
Yeah, but kid, if you were to say that, people only remember the recent history. In the previous Maddens, outside of last Madden, I didn't win with a mobile quarterback. I drafted. If you remember, 2 Maddens ago, not the last one, the one before.
Oh shit!
I drafted a fast quarterback, and I couldn't win with him. So then I got Hunter, which was like a 75 speed quarterback with a strong arm, and I won with him. So to everyone's argument that I can, not this Madden, the one before, yes, when I was the Raiders. I drafted
didn't win no Super Bowls last Madden.
Yeah, correct. You're right. You're right. Hey, I didn't.
I think at the beginning of Madden, somebody said, "Oh, this is my division," and then didn't win a Super Bowl.
Hey, that's right. But I still got more Super Bowls and all that more than you, and I still beat you this year, which matters. But if we're dating back to my point is that I can win without a screaming quarterback. It's just now I have Lamar. So obviously that's your most recent thought of me. But Hunter, I drafted like a 92 speed quarterback back then when Madden was making crazy ass rookies. I drafted a 92 speed quarterback that Yako had another fast one, but his was better than mine. Mine was just scrambler. And I didn't win with that guy, so I let him go, and I got a 75 speed with throw power, and I won with that one. So what I'm saying is I don't necessarily have to win with that. But if you're going to give me Lamar Jackson, I mean, fuck, why not? Like, I'm going to use what I got.
And
like, no one in the league can honestly tell me, like, there's no person, to be completely honest. I know that you guys want to be within the game, but there's no one with the league that can tell me you got a fast quarterback and he can do everything, and you're not going to see an open lane and just take it just because you can. You're going to do it. I mean, unless we put restrictions on it, which everybody wants it now because Ty has been successful and because I won with it. Obviously, you only remember the last good thing. So, yeah, you guys want, no instant rollout. Yeah, because that's what's
Who are
current.
these people?
So
who are these people?
Everybody,
complaining.
Whenever you guys left, sorry, that was Lowe's. But Lowe's, whenever they left, they kept saying, Ty only wins because he has a mobile quarterback. Taina only wins because he's got Lamar Jackson. Only wins because he got Lamar. Yes, to the current game. I'm playing to the current game. So, obviously, if I got Lamar Jackson, I'm going to use him. Somebody within the same podcast made a statement about those lines, like even Kid is stating in the chat today vividly saying, this is my scheme. So if this year's Madden is I got a fast quarterback and he can do everything else, let me do that, then I'm going to do it. Like, shit.
So me personally, like, it's why even if I win a Super Bowl and I got a top 5 pick, I always drop down because I never want those teams because it's going to be too easy. If I have because if I have a Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, whatever, but for DJ Metcalf or whatever, it's going to be too easy because once I scramble, you ain't going to be able to do nothing. Playmaking involved. It's just like Penn doesn't have a mobile quarterback right now, but he's mobile enough. Drew Rosen's mobile enough. But he will playmaker you to death once he get out that pocket. So, but I just don't like that either. It's like I will make
I understand. I understand that, kid. But you remember that I didn't win a Super Bowl. So with that being said, I didn't have a top pick. I didn't pick the Ravens with a top pick. There was 9 to 10 teams picked prior to mine. I happened to have the Ravens fell there, and Lamar was like 80-something overall coming this mad in. So I'm like, fuck, it'll be fun. Like, literally the first year that I can be like, oh, I get to draft a throwing mobile quarterback. Because prior to this year, I didn't have that. So it's like, yeah, it'll be fun. So 10 picks before me, because I didn't win. You guys did, kid. You did. Gringo did. Who else? Tide, I believe, did. I can't remember exactly who it was, but there was like 9 or 10 picks before me. So you guys let them fall. So shit, I'm gonna take them.
Only because Top Cat ain't draft up into the trade app.
Yeah. He even wanted the Giants from the get. But anywho, that's something. But yeah, so I mean, that's shit. I'll take them. I mean, if that's what I have. That's what I'll take, and I'll take them again.
Anybody else got anything for the coach's corner?
I got something for the coach's corner.
What's good?
Yeah, man.
I think that we probably need to redo the trade committee.
I hate the slowness of the trade committee. I swear I hate the slow committee. I hate the slowness.
Dog, I hate the inconsistency, bro. These niggas, dog, like some of the trades that get passed, man. It is
I'm coming to live with that. I
ridiculous.
just hate the slowness. Like I've been waiting forever.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Listen,
Tano at work, he ain't looking at the phone. Well, tell that nigga get out the fries and look at the like it takes 2 seconds.
I don't work at a restaurant, stupid. That's Yaakov. But I agree with that. Even myself, there are times that I tag. It doesn't happen. There's times that they tag me. Lowe's, I mean, since I made it to be open who's in the trade committee, Lowe's has been in the trade committee for the past 2 seasons. He's seen how it works. Now, I'm kind of glad, Lowe's, that you're in here, and we can maybe expand a little bit about this. There is no, unless you see something that I don't, and please state it here, because there's people always think that I'm fucking trying to scheme shit behind the scenes, and I really don't. But Lowe's, there's really no biasness when it comes to it. Literally, a trade comes, everyone states their saying, I say my saying, and if I get overruled or if I get outvoted, the majority wins. And there's 7 people. Lowe's, you've been in here. I mean, you have passed and declined several trades. So you see how it's happened. You see how it is. Literally, someone posts a trade that gets brought up to us. We say yes or no, and we make the argument of why it should be a yes or no. There's one reason that I won't say just because I don't know if it'll pass or not, and just for that reason, I'll just let it be it. But there's recent ones like the one that Lowe's has seen in the past day or so that we take a long time. Sometimes we take a long time because literally some people it could be dead split. So I even have to say yes, or I even have to come back and say no. Or like in this instance, we try to restructure it, or there's some information left out, which you guys sometimes don't know, that there's sometimes that the commissioner, if you're not sending it outside of, to be completely honest, outside of probably Yako, myself, sometimes trades don't get sent in exactly how they are worded, and then they get restructured in the middle of them, and then they're sent a certain way, and we voted in a certain way, and then the people are like, oh no, but they, like today's instance, Lowe's, you made maybe add a little bit after I finish this statement. But like today, it's like, oh, well, the trade was submitted this way, but it really meant to be this way. So it changes the whole thing. And now around this time, yeah, it becomes slow because people do, once madness starts slowing down. But normally during the off season, I tell them, I'm like, hey, like be by your phones. Like I'm about to send like 3 trades per day type of thing. So yeah, I get it. I mean, it's still human error. It's still human factor. I hope that there's as much biasness. I have different personalities in there. So it's not like just myself and Yako making decisions. And me and Yako don't really agree as much as you guys may think. So we really don't. To be completely honest with you.
Rico just be doing, he be doing gay stuff sometimes, man. So it be looking like he agree with you.
I don't care about the agreement. I have a problem with there's a vast majority who think it's a lot of snaky stuff goes on back doors.
And I understand that. But, ooh, man.
I'm going to give you prime example. I'm going to give you prime example, which I think needs to be corrected.
Here we go.
If I send a trade in, if I send a trade in to a specific person and it's approved for me and this person, a committee should not be telling the person who's, I think it's accepted, but like, oh, it was accepted for this, so I'm going to send you this because my third is better.
That is tricky. That shit weird. I've seen that a lot of times. That's weird.
Which I have been a victim of that with a trade committee.
And I agree with you, and that should not happen. So I will tell you that you're probably going to the wrong person, which a kid, you may hate me or not, but I have never done that to you. You can pull up the transcripts of our conversations. I asked for you to hear openly. I have said, kid, come back. You're a great person. I want you back in the league, but I have no reason to accept my faults. It's different throughout a screen or whatever, typing it. But in person, I would tell you, like, this is how I am. Like, I have no reason to hide it behind that. So if you feel best to submit it with me, I don't do that to you guys. I barely even trade. Literally, I get like 1 or 2 trades per madam because if my trade is either decent or on balance in a certain way, but some of you guys trades are on balance and it still gets sent through or not as fair to your opinion, it still gets sent through. I don't try to trade. I barely ever trade. I traded 1 or maybe twice this madam. Literally, I can pull it back.
That last trade was some bullshit.
And I understand that. And you might perceive to your perception, that's what it is. And like I said, if you were to be in there with us, you would have voted no. I don't come back. And Lowe's, please, you can release this to them individually. I don't come back and say, why you voted no on my trade? Blah, blah. I stay quiet. You said no. You said no. That's fine. The only thing is when if is a trade involved for someone in the committee, they don't even have a vote. Like your vote doesn't count. So you guys got to think about that. Most people don't know that or don't think about that, but their vote don't count. So if this were, for example, my trade, and I say, which this is what happened, Marlon Humphrey for the 3rd overall pick, this is the picture, this is it, and I tag everyone, and I say, you approve or disapprove. If it's within 2 people in the committee, I don't tag that person. If it's me and somebody else, I say me, and then whoever, what the outcome could be or what the trade was, and they say yes or no. Not at one point I try to sway my trade. Not at one point I just say if it's something I don't agree with, and as you guys trade, because like I said, I only have submitted like 2 trades for myself. And one of them, I'll say right here, one of them was to give up Lamar to get Pat Mahomes, but it was some other factors being involved, but money couldn't work. So I was literally not even supposed to have Lamar because the trade was agreed with, but the money wouldn't work.
I'm trying to see why Gringo and Penn making trades at this time. Is Gringo helping him out or is he benefiting?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Who's saying this? Who said that?
Oh, AI. It's me, AI.
Well, it's either. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is one of those things that
Penton know he's not a threat, man.
Didn't know who Gringo not a threat.
Yeah.
yeah. But see, this is one of those things that if he, I mean, look, that's what I'm saying, Lowe's. I mean, I keep trying to go back to you, but once
No. Yeah. Continue the
I wanna go-
conversation. You good?
no, once we let me know when we record it.
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. So, Lowe's, I'll actually give you the floor for a second. You've been in it for 2 seasons now. You see how things have gotten voted on. You see some people agree. You'll see some people disagree. And even to some of your disagreements, I have come out and say, please say why you disagree so we can all kind of come to a consensus. So can you agree or disagree? We actually try to make it a fair way. But yes, if there are people, and I will say this myself.
Here's the deal, all right? Here's the deal. There's a lot of goofies in Grid, plain and simple. It's some goofies in the goddamn trade committee, plain and simple. I mean, everybody's not going to – Tano's a goofy. Everybody's not going to agree with everything. It's a lot of goofies in this, in the committee. I mean, it just is what it is. There's a lot of goofy dudes in this league, and they do goofy shit over a game that should be played fair. But anyway, that's to each his own opinion. And I mean, I'm gonna always feel I'm fairly voting on something, and you got the goofies who feel like they want to whatever, and that's just how it is. I mean, I'm always fairly agree with whatever I see or come across my face. They're gonna ask me to explain why I think that way. I'll give them some, explanations. But as far as when I'm voting on trades, that's pretty much it. And I mean, I don't trade much myself, so I'm really not in there that much except when I'm tagged on the trade, and I just make my 2 cents on the trade and I get up out of there. Usually I don't even see if it's approved or not, unless somebody send me a trade directly. Like I just go in there, make my little 2 cents, and then I'm out of it. But as far as like overall, like you got 2 or 3 guys on like the same team, like hoeing each other, I personally ain't seen that. But like I said, I think majority of Grid goofy. So I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, man, look, this AI, this my thing. As far as the trade shit, I don't really make big trade. I don't really do too many trades. Yeah, sometimes I just be messing around with y'all. I be saying people on the block and I ain't trading nobody, just because a lot of it don't be making sense. People be wanting you to give up a whole game, but they don't want to give nothing back. So I don't even try to even mess around with it unless it makes sense. But as far what I want to talk about is this off-season shit. You know what I'm saying?
Prior to us getting to the off season, I'm kind of glad that you said that, because now, man to man, I actually get to highlight that statement.
Yeah, man.
So time out. You made your statement. Let me go back to it, right? Your Odell Beckham trade got approved, right?
Yeah, who did I trade him to? To Ty, huh? Did I trade him to Ty? No.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay, Ty, yeah.
So your Odell Beckham trade got approved. When he hit the trade committee, we already questioned why would you do that move, especially for how easygoing you were going on that move. And once he got approved, you come into the main chat and say, oh, I just did that because I owed him something in another league. Oh, it's funny, huh? But the trade committee ain't valid,
I just beat
right?
Ty ass. Listen, Odell wasn't going to do nothing to me. I just beat Ty ass. He ain't messing with me, man. I caught on to Ty. But I did that. Yeah, I did that because
And that's
that
fine. But you see that if I myself, you're in my division, Ty at the moment was the person who I thought, because this is prior and how we're translating into our podcast, and Ty was here, you were here in the podcast, and Ty was the best opponent at that time, and you're giving him your best weapon at that time, wouldn't you think that if we really were trying to do something against you, I would have just said, nah, there's something. I will tell you that, yeah, we thought that was kind of fishy, and we're probably like, if this is going to continue going on after your statement, we're like, well, we got to really watch to see what is going on. But to you guys, sometimes testament, at the end of the day, it's 7 people, and I wish we could make it bigger to make it half the league, but then it'll just be like, really? But it's only 7 people, and at the end of the day, I ask of every single person not to be judgmental, or biased, but I feel like there's some bias, even though they say yes or no. But I'm very hesitant on who I bring in, because even though the man is not in the league anymore, Jason was in the trade committee from day one, since I established the trade committee. So
he showed me
regardless of you guys thinking that I like him or not, he was in there from the day one. And me and Jason actually had very similar thoughts when it came to trades. He just came to that one instance, which we already explained. But that's what I'm saying. Like, me and him agreed in a lot of things. To some of you guys.
All right, yeah, that's cool. That's cool though, bro. But I don't want to waste up the whole little podcast with that, bro. That's cool. I'm not even tripping on that. Yeah, I'm not even tripping on that, bro, because I don't want to keep starting over the podcast. So look, I'm gonna get straight into it, bro. Just long story short, as far as the trades, I'm not really tripping on that, bro. Other people may have issues with that. My thing is the off-season thing. When it's time to advance, bro, I understand everybody sometimes does the last minute little shit, bro, with the bidding on the person. It's cool. It's been going on for a long time. This is not the only matter, and that's been going on. But it got to be a way to kind of like subdue that, bro. Like kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I know people know when it's advanced. Like we know when it's advanced, but it's like I know y'all putting a time on it, so everybody kind of looking at that time. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna put my last little soon, like right 30 seconds right before
I would tell you something. Either this is gonna be something that you're not gonna like, and I'm gonna be okay with saying it just like this. You either adjust to it or you adjust to it. Because the thing is, after you guys bitch and moan about me making last second bids, I put other commissioners to do it, so you guys don't think that I'm making a bid and advancing. There's no way to win. If I want a player that you want, and I'll tell you who it is, the middle linebacker. I know why you crying and bitching right now. It's that middle linebacker that you wanted. Guess what? I looked through the whole. I needed a backup linebacker. I really did. I was like, who should I look? I looked throughout the whole list. I saw that you were bidding on it. I would have never knew that the guy was 95 speed. But you're so predictable that all you like is speed. If I look at all your linebackers and the shadiness that you do of changing strong safeties, cornerbacks to linebackers, which you were caught on, if I didn't know all that stuff, I would have never looked at Catchman. But guess what? I looked on, needed a backup linebacker, and I was like, oh, AI is bidding it. This dude must be fast. There was 15 minutes within the advance time. You might have not been on. I bid on them. You're mad. Guess what? You're given an off-season schedule. You either are attending to it or you're not. This is going to be one of those things that you may like it.
See, that's what made people. That's what made people put a gang of money on a person, because they don't want to lose out, and then that's what fucks up the whole team. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Then AI, that's what you're gonna make your decisions or not, man.
I ain't gonna be doing that. But no, so that's cool.
Solution to this.
No, it's not. You're right. So look, we passed that. So we passed that now. Look, so let's talk about the team selection now for next Madden. I just want to throw this out there. This is my opinion as far as team selection. Mm-hmm. I feel like out of 32 guys, bro, I feel like we got a solid, like maybe 20. Ooh, I want to say 26.
I'll say 22.
22? Okay, you say 22. I'm going to say anywhere between 22, 26 guys. And I can probably count. Or say the names actually of the people. It might be 22. But anyway, so as far as that, I feel like a lot of us, we've been playing with each other for the last few years now. We know each other's game. It is what it is. But I feel like we keep, kicking people and pulling people in. So it's like, man, some of the good users, like let's do it the right way to where like some of the good users gotta get some of them bottom feeder teams. Like they really gotta build up just to see, how good they really are. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
you mean like kid?
And
You mean like kid
but
do every year?
you
kid
no,
do
so
kid
you're
do be taking some of
so
the
this
middle
is
class
so this is Team
teams.
AI.
Yeah, this me. I didn't have the Jets, bro. I know I had the
Okay,
Browns. I had the second pick, so I
so
picked them. You're right.
so so AI. So you're on air. You're contradicting yourself. The only time that you have won is when you had the Falcons when we did the restart and you won because they were really overpowered. And the only time you won this year is because you had the Browns and they were really good to start with. Outside of that, all you go for is speed. Now, I know what you're saying, but
I
this
think I
will
do the
not benefit you. If I give you the Lions, AI, you're not going to win.
You don't
So
know that
I
though.
am
That's like me
absolutely, you
giving
know
you.
what,
That's like me giving you a 59 speed
my
quarterback.
man,
You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win
AI,
nothing. You're not gonna
AI,
win nothing.
I've
If you
won
sit back here,
eight.
if you sit back there and think you're gonna throw the ball on
AI,
me, if you think you're gonna sit back there with a 59
AI.
speed quarterback and throw the ball on me, you're gonna get picked off plenty of
I
times.
won I won 8 Super Bowls and I only won two
Listen, we talking
Super
about right
Bowls
now.
with
We talking about
Lamar
right now.
Jackson.
We talking about
So
right
that's what I'm
now.
saying. We talk
That's what
about
I'm
that right now. If I would have gave you, if I would, AI, yes, I'm talking about right now. If I would have gave you the New England Patriots with all them slow ass linebackers, or if I would have gave you excuse me, not gave you because I didn't give it to you. It was your choice. Let me restructure this. If you were a bottom team and you were stuck with someone that did not have speed and linebacker, because this is why you're bitching about Cashman. If I did not give you someone with fast linebacker, fast corners, or a fast running back, which we know that every time that you have had a pick, you always go in free agency and you look for that overdone running back or overdone wide receiver, which all you look for is speed, which Rico, you're in the chat, or you may not be. You tell me how I like it speak. You got the wrong guy in this sense. But if we were to look at, man, I speak facts. Yeah, you guys may tear me apart, but I'm gonna come back even stronger. If we look back at your history, my man, the reason why you won with the Falcons is because you had Deion Jones, you had Beasley, and you had the other dude that's left side
man. We listen.
linebacker.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
saying
yeah.
right
don't
now
make
for
me.
next
No,
Madden.
excuse me. No, time out.
What are we even talking about?
Because
AI,
this man
AI,
sits
Yeah.
here.
point, bro. Yeah, we
This
moving
man
on. So
sits
Yeah,
here.
this is my point.
AI,
This is what I'm saying. I
yeah,
respect Tano. Tano, no, listen, me and Tano go at it. I respect. I understand he's trying to break down everything. Listen, I understand what you're saying. I'm not getting on the point of
No,
the
but the
speed.
thing
I'm
is,
just saying for
it's different. It's different. If Lowe's were to make that argument, that's a little different because Lowe's
and
literally
that's
picks
cool.
either
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I'm just saying.
Listen, Lowe's either picks the Texans or the. I know this man since day one. He either picks the Texans or the Patriots. Every single selection, I say, hey Lowe's, you may not make the draft. Send me your top 5. The Texans or the Patriots. That's why Fred even didn't join one year because Lowe's was before him, and he even picked. I'm very factual. Don't get
Yeah, that's
butthurt now
cool.
because
That's
I'm
cool,
speaking with
bro.
facts.
We not
So
even we
Lowe's
letting you say what you saying.
picks.
I'm not even on that.
Yeah,
What I'm
so he
saying is
says that.
I'm
So if
saying
I
to
were
keep
to
the
tell
league
you,
full.
yeah,
Oh,
but the,
AI
the
got
thing
this.
is,
AI got
I
this.
can't
AI
be looking. I can't
I
be
got.
looking at that AI because I also got to look at for the people that just like you're saying, keep the league full. If I keep the league full and let you, will you really AI? Let's talk real stuff. If I were to give you a choice right now between the Ravens and the Lions, you would no way in hell pick the Lions over the Ravens. Come on, man. It's just a selection.
Bro,
There's no
honestly, you
trick
right,
to
and
it.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, bro.
I
I
just
hear
try
what
to
you're
make
saying.
it to
I
where
hear what you're
the
saying,
people
and
that
I hear you.
the people that win get some kind of benefit to it. The people
And
that
I hear
join the other
and I hear
10
you.
to
But you can do
12
a
or
different way though.
6.
You can do it a different way. You don't have to do the
you can just
selections
do a
for winners, bro.
randomizer. Yeah,
When
you
somebody
can do a
when somebody
randomizer.
when
Random
somebody
So
pick.
win a Super
I
Bowl
got
or
an
something,
input. I got
when
an
somebody
input
win a
on that.
Super Bowl, you can give them
What's
a
up?
trait. You can give them a trait on a player,
So,
on a young player. You can treat
so
them.
I got.
You don't have to give them a good team the next Madden. Like, because if
I got.
that's the case,
I understand that has
how does
been
that work?
between the year. And we were going to change it up this year. And I told you guys that the last podcast, I even said we were going to look into different avenues where
So
me or Yako were going to pay out the players that had already won. We were going to take the money out of
so
it. We don't want to do the trade things because we suggested something and people were already bitching about it. So that means
About a trade?
I right now traits.
so
Yes, right
because
now I will have 2 traits. And people will be like, oh my God, you just want to fix your offensive line. I wasn't even giving free superstars. That was other commissioners, and y'all were already bitching about me because I was the one that needed an O-line. I didn't want that.
Because you
Like,
can
that wasn't
say
my idea.
no. Because you can say no. You're the.
I understand that.
Because you can say, why am I giving out free tricks? Y'all
I
ain't do
understand
nothing.
that, but at the same time,
No.
when that gets put to the table, every single person, not one person said, "Oh my God, you're telling me within the first 3 years of my season, I can make this bum ass player a superstar." No one said that. I myself, though, instead of making a free safety, cornerback, quarterback, whatever it was, I made it my own line because I wanted to have my own line to be good. That's just the difference.
What?
That's the difference.
Then you're
it's
making,
just team management.
But then you're making AI's point. Because AI is saying if you give him a dominant team like the Falcons or the Browns, he's guaranteeing a Super Bowl. And
I understand that.
If you give
him,
yes,
you're saying that in that statement, but that doesn't have anything to do with giving a superstar player what? Because the Ravens were not. I picked them at 9 or 10. They were not a top tier team.
You're right. Somebody else could have picked them. I'm not mad at the Ravens falling to you, bro. I'm not mad.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Fault.
So
that's the 8
yes,
people who
I
didn't
know
pick
that.
Them. That's their fault.
You're saying for the next man in the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm just saying for the next man. I just want to keep it full. Yeah, I just want to keep it
I think what AI is trying to say is he's trying to make it more balanced and give those bums who come in a more of a shot.
But then if I'm arguing for them kids, though, if I'm arguing for them and then they still come do the same shit where they don't play, they start losing, then they don't want to play, and then they lead the league, then now it's like, damn, I argue for y'all for no reason, bro, and y'all not playing. You got a good team.
That has been the thing, AI. Like that's
right.
What happens. You get people in, and like the Colts were in good position. Like there was no better team to join as in a 4-year league as the Colts. Like honestly, aside from Lamar Jackson, I would have liked to be the Colts. They have better corners than my team.
Yeah.
It's just I understand what you're saying, but there would never ever be a best way, because if I do it this way, you can argue it that you could do it this way. If I do it the other way, if I give trades, then you can say, well, they ended up having the 12th pick, and they somehow people let them fall to have the Dolphins, which may not occur. The Dolphins, and they made Tualoa a superstar quarterback, and then they made Breida a running back, the superstar. And oh my God, within the first 2 years, they got an X Factor quarterback and X Factor running back. I mean, it's just very, very hard unless I literally say, kid, Rico, Yako maybe, myself, Penton, maybe Los, Sergio, Gringo, all those guys. If I go down to my top 10 users and I literally say, you guys are banned from top 10 picks, the bottom feeders pick the first 10, then after that point, we get to pick teams. And then maybe because at 11 or 12, you may still get a good team. Let's just break it down to say the first 15 is going to be the sorriest dudes. After that, then you pick a team. Then it's like, really? Like, damn, you've been in here showing, being active and doing all this stuff for me to tell you in a whole new Madden, I got to be stuck with this team for some dude that may not even stay?
Man, let me come in and mediate. I will make points for both sides. Have good points, man. Like both of y'all make some really good points. But at the end of the day, your league will always continue to have this turning door, just because of the situation. If someone comes into a league and they don't, they're not top players and they're bothered by losing, they're not going to be in the league long anyway.
Yeah.
Now, and the reason you'll keep getting those players, even if you get a good player in the bottom revolving, they come in and they got these trash teams that these trash users have done to these teams, and they like, nah, I don't really want to stay here and do this. I don't want to build this up, which is understandable. They keep on leaving. Now, if you just start your league with, everybody who's in the league know who got the Super Bowls this year already.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulating these people with something for winning the Super Bowls isn't a bad idea. But
At
to
all.
just go out and say, hey, the 6 guys that got Super Bowls, here are the 6 best teams, makes no fucking sense at all. A randomizer will solve that, if anything. Or you give your best players the best team and you keep your revolving door going where that bottom 8 gonna then turn into a bottom 16. Then that bottom 16 will then turn into a bottom 10. And then you'll have 10 guys in the league that keeps revolving. Or you just solve it from day one. I mean, you take that out of the question. I mean, you just do a randomizer and the guys who've actually won Super Bowls be benefited with special accolades on whatever next year Madden has set up. I mean, there's a trade committee. There are commissions. People can just vote on this shit. It doesn't have to be hard with just giving the top players the best. That makes no sense. I won't be playing in any league that does that. I've already told everybody, Tano, a couple other leagues that I'm in. I'm not doing that. I've won Super Bowls in other leagues. I don't want to take that. Makes no sense. Why would I want the top team so I can keep beating these same guys? That's not fair, or even it's not even entertaining. That's not sport. That's just
which is why
privilege.
kids trades down every draft. So I y'all know that.
I mean,
You trade down every drive strategically.
trade
Let's
down
not
what
bullshit anybody.
It doesn't matter what team you take. It doesn't matter what team you take. Well, wherever you are in the randomizer, well, if you get pick one, if you're a smart person, pick the fucking best team. That's just common sense. If you get pick 29,
Right.
you're gonna get stuck with the fucking 29 pick. That's just common sense. Either you know how to build a team, or you know how to continue to, or you dominate with the team. It's done by a randomizer.
Kid never goes from a
error beforehand.
You're right, but kid never goes from a top 5 to a bottom 28. Like kid, you go from
does
a
kid
top
get a top 5
five
pick? Why would kid want to go to that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. You gave him the top 5 pick, and he can pick whoever he wants to pick at that point in time.
It matters. It matters because
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that's the pick he was given.
Let me tell you.
And at that point, you pick whatever team you get. Now, if a roster comes out where Tano is the first pick of the randomizer, that's the randomizer, that's just what it is.
I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying he gives the top 5 pick, and he's saying he always trades out of it. But I'm saying he trades out of it in a position that he still gets because we have dumbass users that kid may go from pick 2 or 3 to pick 7 or 8 or maybe 12 and still get one of the top 7, 8 teams because the people right in front of it, he strategically does it, kid. I'm not stupid. He strategically does it to where he gets. Come on, kid, man.
You're not making a point, Tano. You're not making a point. What you're saying is that he's just taking advantage of your system.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
There is no exactly. That's what you're allowing in your league. These are the rules of your league that he's taking advantage of. They're your rules.
What I'm saying is he can't come in here and say, "Oh, I'm trading down the top 5 because I'm such a good guy and I want the league to be level." That's bullshit. He's trading now because he knows that. No, stop it, kid.
I'm gonna tell you when.
The Vikings are a good position. You get a.
I'm not talking about the Vikings. No, I'm not talking about the Vikings.
Kid, you do it every year.
No, look. When I had the Browns, right?
49ers,
when I had the Browns. Yes, the 49ers I took. Remember, this is before they went.
When you had the Browns, they had like 3 or 4 first-round picks. Kid,
guys,
I'm
what are we talking about? Are we talking about
and
solutions, or are we just talking about some petty shit? What's up?
No, it just doesn't work when you're not being honest. Because when you're saying that you're doing something, because yes, I know, Lowe's, I agree with you. It's playing the system. Yes, I completely agree with you. I'm not trying to disregard that point. What I'm saying is for someone to sit here and say, "Oh, I want you to pick a certain way, and I want you to do the team selection a certain way," and I always trade out of the top 10. Yeah, because mother freaker. Yes, you're gonna end up with 2 first-round picks in the Vikings and trade it to a bum ass that's gonna pretty much tank. He's not gonna say he's tanking, but these
are astronomical rules that you allow before the season starts. You allow people to trade picks,
and I understand that. Yes,
you allow this.
Yes,
I don't know any other league that does that.
Yes, but this is set up for
By you.
people. You're right, and I admit it. But this is not set up for people to be like it because I don't do it myself. Trust me, I could. But I don't do it myself to where it's like, oh, I got a top 5 pick. I could pick the Browns that are decent, or I could pick the Vikings that have everything. Listen, they have everything but a quarterback. And let me go ahead and trade it to somebody that sucks. And I know with that team, even though it's a good team, that user, because this is where the default statement comes to, oh, give the bad users a good team.
You're speaking out of defense. No, nobody's asking you to defend yourself or your commissioner shit. Like, nobody's asking that.
It's just the thing is, you guys make statements that sometimes you guys, whenever making those statements, you don't analyzing what has actually occurred. So what I'm saying is, I'm looking at the history of what has occurred. No, it has occurred. I'm looking at someone. I'm telling you what something happened this year. Kid did not have a quarterback with the Vikings. He traded the pick for someone that sucked. He got a high pick. He got a good quarterback. Guess what? He won a Super Bowl because he spent a year with the Vikings and he got a good pick. Come on, fellas.
I didn't take a year with the Vikings.
Kid, you did not do well when you first started with the Vikings.
The first year I went to the NFC Championship and lost.
What do you do after that? Yes, and you realized you needed a quarterback.
I got Phillip Rivers in free agency.
And I got Phillip Rivers. You realized you needed a quarterback.
And I got Phillip Rivers.
Realized you needed a quarterback.
Well, guys, this has been an amazing pod. Anybody got any other topics to add to the coach's corner, man?
Hold on, I do. I got one thing. First of all, stop doing 24-hour off seasons. That's retarded. Also, I need Tano to remember my timeline. I need him to remember that. I first came into the league, had the Bills. They was a 75 overall. We talk about the sorry Bills. Won about 3 Super Bowls with them, right? Traded down into the draft. Who did I take in that draft, Tano? Who's my next team after the Bills? It was the Browns. Anybody remember the quarterback? Anybody remember the team, that Browns team? It was John.
Kid, you're not justified. That literally justifies my statement. You pick a team that has a player or two away from what you need, and you trade them to a bum player that you're going to get a high pick.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Get the high pick, and then realize.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You get a good team.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Because you said that Browns team was a player or two away. Other than Johnny Football, you can't name me 2 other legit starters that was over 80.
You had Josh Gordon. That was the team that had Josh Gordon and all them guys.
Okay,
on, man.
That's it.
Like,
Josh Gordon. Who else?
Kid, we're not silly. Like, the Browns have literally the past 2 or 3 years, the Browns have been a team that most people pick because they have draft picks.
Well, guys, again, this has been a great pod. Appreciate y'all joining the pod, man. Well, we just talking in circles on each other right now, so we just gonna end it like that. Hopefully we can have y'all back next time. We can spend another hour in the coach's corner.
Yes, sir.
Talking about this. But again, appreciate y'all coming and getting on Tano ass like y'all do, man. Swan, appreciate the stats. Besides the coach's corner, anybody got anything else to get out there before we end this?
Nah, we pretty good.
Shout out to Jason, B.
All right, man. So from the pod, Grid, we out.